guys, episode 161. I was just recording this and then I was like, I don't like what I'm saying. I don't like this at all. And you know what? This is such a different podcast. Jeff is not here. He is back in Chicago with his family where he needs to be. Prayers to the Schroeders and the Sardi family. So sad. You all who have been tuning in for months have known something's been going on, but Jeff just hasn't been ready to talk about it because he couldn't talk about it because he's just so upset on the news he got about his mom. And she was, you know what? I'll let Jeff share this because I don't know what he wants to share and I don't want to share too much, and I want Jeff to be here to talk about it, which I don't know if he's even ready to still talk about it. He's been grieving for months since his mom found out the news that she found out. I'll let Jeff share that. I am just going to get on here and talk today because I told Jeff that I would do this podcast while he was gone, and we have a job to do, and I was like, I'm not going to cry today. And I think Jeff and I have done a lot of crying these past couple of months, just the grieving process. Jeff's mom was amazing. I said I wasn't going to cry. Sorry. I probably won't do a whole 30 minutes today because I don't think I can. I feel like you guys are like family. Y'all been with us through everything. Jeff's had a really hard year, you know? And I feel bad for him. I feel bad for his family. I feel bad for our kids. They don't know yet. We haven't told them because how do you tell your kids? I didn't think that we would. I thought, you don't ever think anybody's going to pass away. You don't think anything's going to happen. And I thought whenever this did happen, our kids would be maybe in high school and we wouldn't have to do this when they were young. But we're considering getting a puppy. I never thought I would say that. I never thought I would say I was going to get a dog. But we're considering getting a dog because I think right now everybody's like super sad. And when I tell the kids, they're going to be pretty upset. So I told Jeff, I was like, maybe we should get a dog. I think that will bring some happiness to you. That will bring some happiness to the boys. And, I feel so bad for Jeff's dad. His parents have been together since high school, and they're just wonderful people. And Jeff's mom, I loved her. I told her too much. I talked to her like I talked to my mom. This is probably, when Jeff called and told me the news, I left my house and there's a church down the street and you can't go in the church. And I sat in the church parking lot and I said a prayer for Mary that she would get home, and praying over Jeff and that he would find the strength because he's been grieving and so sad. I tried to find a guest today so I could interview them so I wouldn't have to cry, but it doesn't feel right talking about other things. It doesn't feel right being like, oh, so this is what's going on today and this is in the news, and complaining about stuff when people you love are hurting. So this is the only thing that feels right now is just to share and talk about this. And sorry again that I'm crying. I told myself I wasn't going to, but it's hard not to. Um, but yeah, again, I don't know how long I'm going to talk on here today. I just wanted to get on here and try to do this podcast episode and get it done. Y'all would be very proud of me. As soon as Jeff left, you know how that goes when everything starts breaking. I watched a YouTube video because our dryer wasn't working and it wasn't heating up the clothes. So I watched a YouTube video. I had a headlamp on and everything. And my dad walks upstairs and I'm halfway in the dryer. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm trying to fix it instead of calling somebody to fix it. I know I can fix it." And you know what the hardest part is? Well, it was all the lint, everything built up. I had to clean it all out. The hardest part was putting it back together and that I thought that was going to be the easiest part. I'm like, wait, where did this screw go? Where did that go? I should have taken a picture. Like the whole time, that's like what I was thinking of. And it took me probably 4 hours, but I got it done. And that I was like, called Jeff. I said, "You'd be very proud of me." I tried to make him laugh during this hard time. I go, "I fixed the dryer, me out of all people." And then I fixed a couple other things. So I've been getting things done. And then, of course, something's wrong with the toilet. So I had to call somebody. And Jeff goes, "Why does everything break when I leave town?" I go, "I have no idea why that happens." It's like you go out. Normally, like when you go out of town on vacation and you have so much fun, there's always something, either something with your house or you get some crazy bill that you're like, "Wait, I didn't know I had to pay that." It just always happens. But I'm like rambling so much. I have just been trying to hold it together for the kids. And it's hard. It's so hard. And being strong for Jeff and trying to lift him up. And but going back to Mary, if I can get through this without crying. But yeah, I'm going to miss. I loved her check-in text messages. It was always, "Hey Jordan, how are you?" "How are the boys? Are you okay?" You know, she'd always be like, "Are you okay?" And then I would always write her back something funny. But like Jeff's mom, I could always share exactly how I was feeling. So if Jeff made me mad, I would tell her. And, you know, sometimes some things you're not supposed to tell your mother-in-law. I would tell her way too much. And we would just laugh. And Christmas time, she always would give ornaments, these Christmas ornaments, and I loved getting those. And I started doing that at our house. I told Jeff, I said, "I'm going to skip Halloween and I'm just going to put up Christmas this year." I was like, because just the year you've had, you know, just you lost your job, 6 months of no job, you get a job, and then you get news about your mom. And then this happens. And I was like, "You've just had a rough year." I was like, "I'm going to put Christmas up because it makes me happy." I'm going to miss her Christmas ornaments. And every year, a week before my birthday, she always was on time with the birthday cards. And me and Mary's birthdays are 3 days apart. And I always got my pink envelope and like her sweet note. So things like that I'm going to miss. I remember getting off of Big Brother. I'm going to switch gears. So I'm going to be all over the place, you guys. Like I said, this episode might not even be any good at all. But I told Jeff that I would do the episodes and I'm going to do it. And I'm going to get through them and I'm going to do them this week. Okay, so when I got off Big Brother, And normally when you meet the parents, it's kind of, well, I mean, I haven't been with anybody since Jeff, I met Jeff when I was 22. So I didn't really, I was a kid before, and the people you dated before, it's not the people you're going to marry. So I was nervous about going to Chicago, meeting Jeff's family, because I didn't know what to expect. I was like, I don't know how they are. And then Jeff at the time was more of a spitfire and fiery. And then I meet his parents, and his dad is like the quietest guy, so laid back, doesn't say anything. And his mom was just so sweet. And I didn't know, because you always, movies or things you see people talking about Italians, I didn't know what she would be. Oh, it's here? Oh, perfect. I had a package, you guys. My dad was upstairs waiting that I had to sign for, and I was waiting. I'm so glad my dad was there to get that package for me. So sorry, that's another thing random going on here. But first time meeting Jeff's parents, and she was so welcoming and so sweet. It was not like the movies where it's like this mean Italian mother, because I was like, oh no, I'm the opposite of them. And I'm the complete opposite of Jeff's family and how I grew up. And they are just wonderful. And she just accepted me. And I think like the bond, I think it helped that I was on Big Brother, and she watched Jeff and I, and she probably watched the feeds. I don't know if she did, but I want to say maybe they did at that time, but I could be wrong. And so then they feel like they know you when they meet you. So then when you're meeting them, it's so much easier, because they've been watching you for 3 months, but you don't know any of them, but they're like, hi, and asking you questions about the show. And I think that's how it all started, like me just opening up to her and just being so open and honest about everything. Again, I was too blunt sometimes about things. Jeff's like, some things need to be left private. And I just would have the best time with her. And I remember Jeff's parents' house, the one he grew up in, we would sit at the table, and she would drink her coffee, and we would sit there, I'm not even joking, for like 2-3 hours. Jeff's dad would go play basketball or go somewhere, and we would just talk about everything. And I loved gossiping with her about celebrities and her cousins. Jeff's mom has the best cousins. They are all so wonderful. And Mary would always make sure that I felt included and felt like I loved, and just that's the type of person she was. Like, she was very selfless. She was not selfish at all. She was always worried about everyone else and not herself. She always wanted to make sure everybody was comfortable, everybody was okay. If you came there to stay, whenever we would come, she would always have like little baskets of toys for the boys, like from the dollar store or something. And the air mattresses were always blown. Everything was always organized. Oh, and speaking of this, because the air mattresses make me think of it, another thing that I will miss is her random QVC stuff she would buy. So I would, one of the texts I sent her, I think this is before she found out she was sick. I was getting my toes done, and they had QVC on, and I took a picture of it. And I told her I was thinking of her, because QVC just makes me think of Jeff's mom. And then like gifts she would get Jeff when we were dating, it would be like, oh, I found this on QVC. And it was just so cute and just so sweet. But she always was thinking of everyone. And when Jeff has been, which people don't know, Jeff has been going since May. He's been flying every other weekend back to Chicago to be with his family. But, we don't post that stuff because not everything on social media needs to be documented about your life, what you're doing, what you're eating, and especially things like this, like what you're going through. I know people now are just comfortable and post every single thing. And this is something, obviously, that you want to keep to yourself. It's no one's business what you're going through. And, it took a lot for Jeff to do that post. He called me, before he posted, and because he was upset. And I told him, I was like, well, you do what you want to do. Like, if you want to post this, I go, everybody kind of knows something anyways, because of, you guys, y'all been following us through this whole journey, this whole couple of months. And now, I can't heal Jeff's broken heart. I can't do that. But I can make sure he's standing and moving forward and getting through it and giving him the space he needs to grieve and, just showing up. I think that's the most important thing right now is showing up and just being there for him. If he needs to cry, cry. If he needs a space, give him his space. If he needs affection, if he needs to be sad. And I told him all of that. I was like, you have to let me know. You have to tell me how you're feeling and communicate with me, because this is the first time I've experienced this with somebody close. I haven't had anybody close to me pass away in a very long time. So I don't really know what to do. And I have to give a shout out to my friend. I don't know if she still listens to our podcast or not, but she's been my friend since we were in 5th grade, and her dad suddenly passed away a couple years ago. And she has been amazing through this whole thing, because she's one of the people, when Jeff found out about his mom with being sick, that I talked to, because I knew she was somebody that experienced it. She knows me. And I was like, she will be the person to get me through this. And she's just been so helpful and talking to me about like the grieving process and emotions, because people don't really talk about this stuff, And again, like I said, I think, gosh, we've cried more this year than I think I ever have. Again, and sorry I keep saying I kind of all over the place today. I don't even really know. I didn't really have a plan where this podcast was going to go today, this episode. I said I was just going to sit down and just start talking and talk about my feelings. But I don't want to say too much, because I want Jeff to be here to share his story and talk about it. I just wanted to get on here and talk about how amazing his mom was, and she is going to be so missed. And I was in my room the other night and I was sitting there, and it's when something like this happens, it's like your world stops. Someone you're close with like this, and everything else, the world doesn't stop. Everything else keeps going. It's just like, oh, tomorrow's the next day. Oh, are we going to do our same routine? Oh, this and that. But you feel like, oh my gosh, this actually happened. How do you move on from this? How it feels so weird. You get like this pit in your stomach, like this uncomfortable feeling, because you're thinking, oh, this is just a really bad dream, and it's going to go away. But I'm going to be able to text her and whatever I'm feeling that day, and just send her a text. It's so weird. But I will say I hit the jackpot with his mom as a mother-in-law. And Jeff has 2 other brothers, and they are married, if you don't know. And they also hit the jackpot with Jeff's mom. I feel like they have been, because Jeff's brothers are a lot older than me. So they've been in the family a lot longer. I've only been in the family 16 years. And well, since Jeff and I have been together, but Jeff's mom always made me feel like I was already married in the family to begin with. And I just feel like I didn't get as much time as the other, the sister-in-laws. And they're so blessed that they got the time that they did. And they're so blessed that they had her as a mother-in-law. And they loved her too. And she loved them. She loved everybody. She loved everybody in their family. Hang on. I need to regroup. Yeah. She will be missed. And again, like I said, I think I'm going to end this. It's not a long podcast today at all. Like I said, it feels weird talking about other things. I thought about having the kids on and doing something funny, but right now it just doesn't feel right doing anything funny and laughing right now because that's not how I feel. And these past couple of months doing this podcast have been really hard because we've known, we knew how long she had, and it showing up here sometimes, maybe before the podcast, Jeff and I were crying, or before we were recording, or even after. And you don't feel like laughing, and you don't feel like talking about things. And so sometimes some of the episodes we did, I felt like it didn't flow, but that's the reason why. But we obviously weren't going to share that's why. But we were, we were both off because we were both just sad. And it's hard sometimes to show up and try to be funny or try to be entertaining and make people laugh, because that's why we're here. We're here to help y'all's days. A lot of you write me and say at work you're cracking up, or you're in the grocery store and you're in the aisle and you're laughing so hard because of something that we said. And that's why we do this. We love entertaining you guys. We love that y'all are along the this journey with us. I mean, geez, y'all are like family now, because y'all, I feel like, have been through it all with us this past year. And we try to be open and honest and authentic. And there's a lot of fake out there, so much fake, and trying to bring the realness back to YouTube, to Instagram, and TV. And we just appreciate you guys so much. And thank you for all your kind words. Thank you for your messages. Thank you for, thank you. Just thank you. I love how I said in the beginning of this, I'm not crying. And I said I wasn't going to. And thank you to our Yay family. They have been amazing. They've known about this, and they have so understanding about everything. And I feel like Jeff and I have a special bond with them. And Riley, our producer's been amazing. Ian does all the editing. Ryan, the VP, he's amazing. It just fits. And it's just, I feel like sometimes things are meant to be. And I feel like when you're going through a lot of things, you need that support from the people that you're working with. And they've just been so awesome. So thank you to Yay. Thank you to you guys. And then before I end this, I just wanted to say that because some people were confused with Fridays doing the Big Brother recap. So Mondays and Wednesdays podcast episodes are going to be like usual. our normal random talks. We could have some Big Brother talk. I know some people wrote me saying that they didn't want Mondays and Wednesdays episodes to turn into a Big Brother episode as well. There might be some things, but we'll like, oh, that was such a great episode on Big Brother last night, and then shift it to Friday's episode. So Fridays will be all Big Brother talk. I'm trying to line up more people. This Friday, August 1st, I almost said the person's name. That would not be good. And you would have to cut that out. It's a hint. I do have a lady guest with me, and she's going to be on the whole time, and y'all are going to love this one. And I'm not just saying that, some people are like, oh, this is the best, and it's not really. This is going to be a good one. So you do not want to miss this Friday's YouTube Live. It's at 5:00 Mountain Time. And again, it's a good one. Jeff will be back Monday for podcast and all next week. He just needs to be with his family this week. And then we will be back again. I'm sorry for crying and not getting, being so random. I don't even know if my stories made sense, to be honest. I don't know if what I said made sense at all, but I just wanted to get this episode out to you all because that's what, this is our job, and this is what we are supposed to do. And doing just a random episode, just talking, just didn't feel right. This is what felt right today. So I'm sorry if you're like, oh my gosh, this episode was lame. I feel like I'm just talking to myself. But we will be back. We will be, I don't even know if refreshed is the word, but we will be back next week and hopefully, working on this. But thank you guys for sticking with us through this whole journey. This whole life is hard. Life is wild, and you just have to ride the wave, and yeah. Oh, wait, I have a quote. Okay. Oh, this is calm in quietude is not real calm. When you can be calm in the midst of activity, this is the true state of nature. Happiness and comfort is not real happiness. When you can be happy in the midst of hardship, then you can see the true potential of the mind. Good one. All right. Thank you again for downloading, subscribing, tagging your friends, and we will see you next week. Sorry again if this was babbling, but we will be back and stronger next week. Bye.